Oh, it has been a welcome sight on the South Coast, sun blanketing the region. But this, of course, is after we endured a lot of dark, rainy days this winter, as per usual, which means we might not be getting enough sun or its essential byproduct, vitamin D. So to give Canadians a boost of that, Health Canada is now requiring milk and margarine producers to more than double the amount they put in their products. For more on this, we're joined by our CBC medical columnist, Dr. Melissa Lem. Nice to see you again. Why is Canada doing this?
Well, the reason is there's a huge prevalence of vitamin D deficiency in the Canadian population. About 1/3 of Canadian adults have insufficient vitamin D. And in the winter months, that increases to about 40%. And vitamin D, it's a really unique vitamin. It's the only one that we can generate on our own. But again, we don't get enough in our food supply right now, so the levels were increased. And there are all kinds of, unfortunately, health harms that can happen if you don't have enough vitamin D in your diet.
Before we get to the harms, what does vitamin D do for our health, positive-wise?
Well, a lot of us know how it improves our bone health. You need vitamin D in order to absorb calcium and build healthy bones and teeth, but it has other functions. It can support your immune system function, reduce your risk of autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis. It improves your muscle and your nerve health, and there are other functions too, like it can actually, in some studies, show to improve your hair density. So there are lots of different benefits from vitamin D. You don't want to be deficient in it.
So when somebody is thinking, or they're being told by a doctor, you got to take some more vitamin D, how much should they take? And is there a risk of taking too much?
Yes, well, I routinely recommend to my patients, particularly in the winter months, that they take a supplement of at least 1,000 international units per day if they're an adult. The general recommendation from Health Canada is at least 600 to 800 international units, and it varies depending on you. So if you're older, you tend to generate vitamin D not as well. If you have a deeper skin tone, it's also harder. And also, if, say, you live in an area with more air pollution that's not allowing as much sun to get through to your skin, you're not generating as much. So there are all kinds of factors that determine whether or not we need to supplement more or less.
When somebody gets if they buy a bottle of vitamin D pills, when you say international units, how many of those either little tablets or I think dissolvable pills should they take then? What's the recommendation there?
The average supplement, usually it's about 800 international units or 1,000 international units. You don't want to go over 4,000 international units per day. So you asked about what happens if you take too much.
Yeah.
You can absolutely have too much of a good thing. So what happens is your calcium levels will go up if you're vitamin D toxic, and that can cause kidney stones, kidney failure, nausea, vomiting, and confusion. So definitely something you don't want to be taking too much of. The interesting thing is, though, that the vitamin D we get from the sun, you can't overdose on that. There's no such thing as that. Your body actually controls the amount you generate. But you don't want to supplement too much from your food, otherwise you can go over. Right,
and you probably don't want to be in the sun too much in case you get a sunburn if you're not well protected, right?
That's correct. So a lot of dermatologists actually recommend we don't go out in the sun to get our vitamin D intentionally, that you actually get it from food and supplements to reduce your risk of skin cancer.
And does it have to be sunny out, or would we get any vitamin D if it's just a cloudy day or even a rainy day?
If it's light outside at all, you will be generating some vitamin D, but not enough. So that's why we have those recommendations for at least 600 to 800 international units per day, because there are a lot of cloudy days here on the West Coast that we have to worry about.
No kidding. Dr. Melissa Lem, we appreciate your time and your expertise as always. Welcome to 2026.
Thanks, Dan. You too.